Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And right now, as you can see, the Broncos sitting at 9-0 on top of the NFL. Only two other teams have one loss, so even if I have one loss, I'm probably still the number one team. But right now, we are on a 9-game winning streak, looking to go 10-0. And this week, man, we're going up against the Bengals. I mean, he's got a pretty deep squad. I mean, let's just look at his squad really quick. So starting here, Khalil Mack, as you can see, we have to block him around the edge. But look, Kirk Cousins at quarterback. He has Carson Palmer as his backup. So he has two capable quarterbacks. Melvin Gordon. You know Melvin Gordon, man. In Madden, this dude is amazing, and he's got a bunch of running backs here to back him up as well. Jarvis Landry, Brandon Marshall, Crabtree to back him up, or to receive the ball at receiver. Kamar Aiken as well. So he's got a pretty good receiving core right there. A little older, Jason Witten at tight end. His line doesn't look too good. It looks like they're all 70s pretty much. At left end, he's got Chris Long, who's kind of older, but he's still capable. But look at his backups here. 82 overall backup. Robert Ayers there. Nick Fairley at D tackle. He's got some pretty good D tackles as well. Then Khalil Mack, that man. Kevin Minter at the middle linebacker position. Sean Lee at the right outside. Vontae Davis, Jason McCourty. It looks like Kareem Jackson as well. So he's got a pretty well-balanced squad here. And then he's got Ha and Morgan Burnett over the top. So he's got a pretty decent squad here, man. So we definitely got our work cut out for us this game. And that offensive line, we might be trying to attack that, trying to get in for the sack. And especially Shane Ray, hopefully he can get going in this game. Hopefully Joey Bosa as well. He's been having an up and down year, but he's still a problem coming around the edge. But let's just get into this gameplay. Let's go. So here to start off this game, giving the ball to Crowell, man. Remember, he had that big game last week. We want to get him going this week. So early on, I'm going to try to get him to carries. But 3rd and 5 here early in this game, we're going to find our boy Gerald Everett, who has been such a godsend for us this year. I mean, really, Gerald Everett has been the glue to our offense because he gets open from that tight end position. And there is Crowell running over the safety there. 2 rushes for 25 yards early in this game. And he can't stop this inside zone. And Crowell is fitting through these holes like it's nothing. So right away, he has 37 yards to start the game. But here on a 3rd and 3, I actually picked the wrong play on this play. D'Angelo Henderson gets the ball up the middle, and we had to settle for a field goal. So he gets the ball back here on offense. Remember, he's got Melvin Gordon, but right away we help him out with the face mask there. So he gets a free 15 yards. So here at the 38-yard line, giving the ball right back to Melvin Gordon, breaking off a gain, running over Justin Simmons, takes a gang of tacklers to bring him down there. And what's funny is that, like, I accidentally switched my coaching adjustments to strip the ball on accident. I was wondering why my guys were trying to go after the ball during this game, and I didn't realize it until probably like the end of the first quarter. So here, another face mask. And man, if you have that setting switched on, be prepared. Your guys might have some face masks. But here, he throws the ball over the middle. I don't know what Justin Simmons was doing there. That was his zone, and he just kind of like let it go. I thought that was going to be a pick all the way. So we do get the ball back, though, and we find our boy Demaryius Thomas. Trevor Siemian throws an absolute dot on that one. And I saw his user there, but I thought I can get it around him, and I did. So here we're getting the ball back once again in the DT over the middle. So now we're at the 37-yard line, driving into the red zone, and we give it to Isaiah Crowell, who's having a big game running the ball. And early on, he has 50 yards off of 5 carries. So on a 3rd and 9 here in the red zone, rolling out to the right side, I see an open running back in the flat, but I'm trying to get it to my tight end, but he cannot drag the feet there, so I do settle for 3. So the Bengals get the ball back on their next drive on the 48-yard line, rolling out left. He's going to find his guy for a short gain here, so he's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. He's going to fake the ball to Melvin Gordon, and what a play action that was. I had the second tight end covered, but he hit the first tight end, so Now he's into the red zone, almost into the red zone on a 2nd and 7. Once again, Melvin Gordon getting around the edge. Quan Alexander pushes him out of bounds. So right away, Melvin Gordon has a quick 50 yards in this game. And right away, he's finding his tight end over the middle through a seam route. So right away, gotcha, getting in for the sack in the red zone. And on a 3rd and goal, he's rolling out to the left side. And this time, Joey Bosa's going to get in, come around the right edge, and catch up to him. So the Bengals had to settle for a field goal here, but they do have the 10-6 lead. Trevor Siemian showing off the legs a little bit, finding Isaiah McKenzie out in the open there. So on a 2nd and 1, giving the ball to Isaiah Crowell. He cannot stop this inside zone, so why not keep running it here? Because if you can't stop it, I'm going to keep running it. So here I actually give it once again to Isaiah Crowell up the middle. So we're at the 34-yard line, almost into the red zone, in field goal range. But I try to find my receiver there, Demaryius Thomas, over the middle. But Brandon McManus comes in, at least brings the game to within 1. So we have 3 early field goals in this game, and that's been kind of my Achilles heel this season, is that when I should be going for the touchdown, I'm settling for these field goals, and I'm not getting to the end zone as much as I wanted to. But he's starting out the second half with a screen play here to his running back, Melvin Gordon. I swear, man, if you have a running back, one thing I've noticed is that if you have Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, one of these like elite running backs, and you use him like they use him, a lot of these users, Le'Veon Bell, the Chargers have Le'Veon Bell, man, you can really take advantage of a defense. Gotcha, bitch. But here, Shane Ray, there he goes. He's finally showing up, and that's what I've been looking for, man, these last few games. At least him to show up in the pass rush, and look at that. Tavon Wilson's forcing the turnover there with the big hit, so we luck out there because he was ready to take about a 8-point lead just about. So now we get the ball back on a 3rd and 7. Trevor Siemian is dropping back to pass, has all day to throw, and we drop back a little bit and find our man Isaiah McKenzie. Isaiah McKenzie, man, he is so impressive, man. He's only 5'7". He's the Broncos punt returner in real life, but he's proven to be a real slot receiver with me. He can catch the ball, he can run routes, and he's used that speed well. And there Isaiah Crowell is going over 100 yards with that carry. So on a 2nd and 8, I'm setting him up all game for this play. A play action read over the middle, finding Gerald Everett for the touchdown. And I go for 2, but he dives in there, trips my guy up at the ankle. So now we just have a 5-point lead, but he's giving the ball once again to Melvin Gordon up the middle. He has 54 yards rushing. I swear he had a lot more at this point, but we were shutting him down pretty well. And here we get a covered sack. Shane Ray getting in there for, he didn't get a full sack on that one, he got a half sack. So, but we get to give him the ball right back because, man, I thought my running back was running a flat route. I noticed it when I saw the play art, he was running a wheel, so I tried to get him in the flat part of his route, but he had that rounded part out. But I threw a pick, and he takes advantage, throws a touchdown. So he goes for 2 here, up by 1, but we stop him. So they just have a 1-point lead going into the 4th quarter. We get one more snap off to start the 4th quarter, to end the 3rd quarter, and we take a sack. So now we have facing a 3rd and 22, backed up against the wall, and look what we do. We find a man. Who else but Isaiah McKenzie? I cannot say enough about how much he's meant to me in the slot. After getting rid of Chris Godwin, I thought I was going to have a difficult time throwing to slot receiver, but Isaiah McKenzie has definitely stepped up in that role. So on a 2nd and 6 here at the midfield, we find Gerald Everett. The defense sends a blitz, and we recognize it right away. The man coverage, Gerald Everett, he cannot be covered. I'm telling you, he is going for Rookie of the Year, to be honest, because he is killing it at the tight end position. He can block, he can run routes, and he's just taking advantage of defenders this season. So we have a 7-point lead after getting the 2-point conversion. We had to stop him on this drive from getting into the end zone. We stop him here. We hold on to the lead, and there is Tamba Ali getting the sack there, and he's running a screen play. We recognize it right away, but he finds his tight end up the seam there, and a lot of users use that play. They use the halfback screen and then throw to the tight end up the seam, but here's Lorenzo Doss getting the sack. That was a cover sack as well. He was in coverage, came up and got the sack. So here on a 2nd and 18, he's going to drop back to pass, throw it deep to the left side, and Chris Harris is there. But if you look at this play, he has a receiver wide open. He runs a wheel route with his running back. Look at this guy, wide open. He lobs it. That's a touchdown. But instead, he throws it across the field, and we take advantage of that. So right away, we come to the line, trying to milk the clock, so we give the ball to Isaiah Crowell, and right away, he fumbles the ball, gives it right back to the defense. So now they have the ball back inside the red zone, trying to take advantage of this great field position I'm giving him after the fumble. And on the 2nd down, he can't complete a pass. So on the 3rd and 6, he runs the ball with Melvin Gordon. It's been working for him up to this point, but it doesn't work then. But on the 4th and 9, he runs a screen play, throws it to Melvin, and look, he decided not to run upfield. He tries to get to the outside, but Shane Ray has a big game, stops him there. So I trust my guy Isaiah Crowell. This time, I'm making sure he's holding on to the ball, get him a carry to the right side. So on a 3rd and 8, need to get a first down here, and look who it is. Demaryius Thomas, reliable over the middle, and that's going to seal the game for the Broncos. What a game that was. It went back and forth. I was a little nervous because I didn't have that lead early in the first half. I went into halftime losing. I think that this was the first time I was actually losing at half, I think. So, man, the Bengals, I got to give it up to him. He played a hell of a game. Demaryius Thomas finishes with 3 catches, 76. Isaiah Crowell, 137 on the ground. Trevor Siemian actually had his best game as a Bronco. And you might say, what, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception was his best game? But every throw he had to make, he made it. Man, our defense showed up. Our pass rush showed up, especially Shane Ray. But hit subscribe. Hit that like button, man. We're going to try to keep this undefeated season going. Follow it. Let's go.